Hello friends, thank you for checking out the video today. I have some very exciting news for you on NFTs. You've probably already heard about NFTs either in the news or maybe social media. Maybe it's your family or your friends that you've heard NFTs from. But very recently, what's been going on is investors with excess capital have been rushing into the NFT space for what they perceive as a modern day gold rush. Now, in some instances, they've been right. It has been a gold rush. Look no further than the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT project. I'll just insert a picture right here so you know what I'm talking about. But basically, this digital art, this image you see right here, could have been purchased in early 2021 for about $400. Currently, the minimum that you can buy this right here, is $150,000, and that's as of today, November 1st, 2021. So it went from $400 to $150,000. So the question is, why is someone willing to pay that much money for an NFT? And it's a great question, but before you can contemplate that, I think you have to fully understand what an NFT is. And that's my job here today. I'm hopefully going to demystify NFTs for you, make it a little bit more relatable, and if you become a user or an investor in NFTs, you'll be more informed and capable of making better decisions. So let's go ahead and jump in here. Real quick, I just want to jump in here. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, as we will be coming out with a bunch of NFT related content that will be relevant and helpful for you. Also, leave a comment, and I promise I will do my best to answer within 24 hours. Okay, let's jump in. So, the easiest way to look at it to start is to break down the word NFT. Now, obviously, you know what the word non means, but maybe you've never heard of the word fungible. What does fungible mean? So, fungible is an adjective used to describe a good or service that can be replaced with something identical. Prior to NFTs, fungible was a fairly common term in economics. Every good or service in an economy could be classified as fungible or non-fungible. A synonym for fungible is replaceable. So every good or service in an economy is either replaceable or non-replaceable. For example, a gallon of gas is a fungible good. Every gallon of gas is just as good as the last gallon of gas for you. You don't care which gallon of gas is used to fuel your car. Granted that costs are equal. Now, an example of a non-fungible good would be the Mona Lisa. There's only one painting by Mr. Leonardo da Vinci. Now, importantly, the Mona Lisa can be counterfeited or copied, but through special and very cumbersome verification processes that we've developed, we have these mechanisms to easily tell if something is real or not real. It doesn't take rocket science to know that non-fungible things will typically be more valuable than fungible things. As a general rule, this will hold true. And for most watching this video, including myself, we've always applied this rule to the physical rule. We'll talk more about how these rules are actually more easily applied to the digital world, but that's for another video. But first, to keep with our word breakdown, let's talk about the word token in NFT. A token is something tangible or visual that can represent many different things. Keyword here, represent. A token can represent a fact. It can represent monetary value. It can represent success. It can represent a feeling or a quality. It is interesting that the online community latched on to the word token. And I don't think this was a mistake. I think it was specifically chosen because of the plethora of things that it can be applied to. Let's start with the physical world example. Something you've probably said before is, here's a token of my appreciation. You bake your friend a batch of cookies for helping you study for an exam. The batch of cookies is a token of your appreciation for your friend. Another example would be a token of fact. Your birth certificate is a token of fact. It represents a fact, and that fact is that you were born on a said date, at a said place, and you were given a said name at that time. It's a token of fact. Another token, which is very fungible, would be something you use quite often. Dollar bill. This represents value, and whoever accepts it knows what that value is, and they know that if they attempt to use it elsewhere, it will represent value to others, or if they decide to save it, it will represent value in the years to come. And that leads us to the next part of the video. How can something digital be classified as fungible or non-fungible? Can't you just take a screenshot of that Bored Ape Yacht Club and say you own it and sell it for $150,000? The short answer is no. Unfortunately, you cannot. And it's very easily verified. Now, I think the easiest way to explain this is to jump right into a real-world example that you will be familiar with. The Twitter blue verification checkmark. Donald Trump. Perhaps the most well-known Twitter user the world has ever known. He would tweet something out, and the world would go bananas. For our purposes, all we care about is how did we know that a Donald Trump tweet was truly coming from the president himself? The short answer is the Twitter blue checkmark. We, as a society, relied on that blue checkmark next to Donald Trump's name to verify that tweets coming from that Twitter account were truly the words of the president himself. Donald Trump owned that Twitter account, no one else. Why couldn't you just take a screenshot of Donald Trump's Twitter account and pretend his tweets were your own? Well, because Twitter's blue verification checkmark would quickly verify that what you were doing is fake news. These same rules applied to NFTs. First, let's point out how inefficient this verification process is. Twitter has a whole verification process and a whole verification team before they give a blue checkmark to an account. And then they do maintenance to make sure that that account hasn't been hacked and that tweets coming from it are still from the person who says they own it. That blue checkmark represents that you are reading a tweet from a real and a notable person. So, where do NFTs come in? Well, NFTs remove the middleman altogether and leave it to the unalterable programming, the unchangeable programming, and that unchangeable programming is known as the blockchain. The blockchain is a beautiful system designed to tackle this very problem of verification. Because NFTs live on the blockchain, they can very easily and very quickly be verified as either real or not real. That's the whole beauty of the blockchain, its ability to verify. For example, let us say one day that our birth certificates live solely on the blockchain as an NFT, as I suspect will happen one day. In order for you to access your birth certificate, you're going to need to be able to access your NFT wallet or your crypto wallet. Now, real quick, a very good question is, how do you securely access your NFT wallet? And it's a great question, and it's being addressed, and it's being improved upon every day. This will be a major challenge for NFTs in the years to come. But for now, let's say you are the only one able to access your NFT wallet, as you should be. Well, once you open that wallet for us, we're going to see within it a birth certificate with a hospital's digital signature, which we'll see in there. And what the beauty of it is that the blockchain will very quickly and easily verify for us that this is the only one like this. It eliminates the possibility for there to be a fraudulent or counterfeit birth certificate out there on the digital web. Again, that's because of that unalterable programming. Your trips to the DMV should get a lot easier as a result of this, which, I don't know about you, but praise the Lord. Now, imagine all of the possibilities for things that can be digitized that require verification. It's kind of crazy, and I'm just going to read off a list here just to show you how much can be digitized and what we're moving towards as a society. How about medical records? Did someone say vax cards? Degrees, passports, identifications, club memberships, art, music, money, car titles, insurance, certificates, house titles, movies, books, expensive merchandise like Gucci, job histories, criminal records, accomplishments, love letters, birthday and graduation cards, or just about anything else you can think of digitized. And again, just to stress here, once things are minted and on the blockchain, they cannot be duplicated. So the consequence of this whole thing is that pretty soon a lot of our identities are going to live online. And it's a pretty frightening thing to think about, honestly. But fear not, there are always things that we will not be able to digitize. For example, a delicious meal cooked by your mother. Well, that's it for me. The possibilities here are truly endless, and the space is growing very quickly. Art and gaming are the two early adopting industries, and it's really an exciting time to be alive. You have an opportunity here to, at the very least, witness and at the best influence and take part of this rapidly growing innovation. Until the next video, I hope you enjoyed today's content. And like I said earlier, we're going to be coming out with more NFT related content that's relevant and useful for you. If you enjoyed the content, please leave a comment. And again, I'll do my best to answer within 24 hours. And if you really enjoy the content, smash that subscribe button. Thanks again, folks. Much love, and until next time.